Hey everybody, welcome back to Race of History. Today we're going to get into another Sabaton song from The Last Stand, I believe is the album it's from. This is Last Dying Breath, the lyric video. I know nothing about this song going into it. I have no idea what it's about. I'll try to figure it out as I go. Sometimes they make it really clear what they're talking about, and sometimes they don't make it clear at all. And you would have to be super familiar with the topic to pick up on what it's about. So we'll see how this is, but I'm looking forward to this song. I really like this album, so let's get into it. Sabaton Last Dying Breath. God, I love this album so much. I love the epic sound and 80s hard rock thing they've got going with it.
Has come. Day or night the shells keep falling. Overrun, but never outdone. Street to street, denying defeat. Soldiers of the Serbian army, keep your heads held high. Overrun, you fall one by one, for Belgrade and the fatherland. Soldiers, heroes, die for your land. Your lives are gonna raised by your command. Your last dying breath. Until your last dying breath. Overrun, you're under the gun. Day or night the shells kept falling. Sound the drum, the great war has come. Show no fear, the ending is near. The final charge to face the fire. City falls, Belgrade streets are stained by blood. Soldiers, heroes, die for your land. Your lives are gonna raised by your command. Until your last dying breath. Until your last dying breath.
Okay, before the guitar goes off, obviously they made this one pretty obvious, right? Talking about Serbia in the Great War. What's really interesting to me about Serbia, specifically in World War I, is they were the whole thing was that they were going to get steamrolled, right? That was literally the basis of the whole thing. With the Austrians and the Germans, this whole thing is built on Serbia falling very quickly. And what we find out relatively soon is the Austro-Hungarian army is garbage, right? Maybe that's a little bit strong, but they are not what they had been in the past, okay? This was not... the empire is dying, right? And so I've talked about this before. There's a very interesting quote about Germany being tethered to a corpse. You could make the argument that really the Ottomans are a dying empire and the Austro-Hungarians are a dying empire. Germany drew the short straw for that war. But they go up against against the Serbs, who they're supposed to just immediately steamroll, and they really, really struggle. And it's almost bizarre because it's talked about in the build-up to the war as if it's a foregone conclusion that the Austro-Hungarians are going to go down there and they'll steamroll the Serbs. They'll be able to knock Serbia out before anything else really pops off anywhere else, and that'll be great. That is absolutely not what happens. Um, that's the Serbians are just a really interesting part of the war, and then obviously you have the Franz Ferdinand stuff with all of that, and Gavrilo Princip, and just they play a major part in the war, even though you don't really think Serbia when you know they're not the first country you think of with World War I, but they absolutely play a huge role in World War I. I love this like slow build up they're doing right here. It sounds awesome.
Soldiers, heroes, dying for your land. The lights are gonna raise by your command. Until your last dying breath. In peace, our lives are released. Forward to glory for King and his last dying breath. Defend the honor of Belgrade. Forward to glory to peace. Until your last dying breath. In peace, our lives are released. Forward to glory for King and his last dying breath. Defend the honor of Belgrade. Forward to glory to peace. Your face at last.
God, I love this album so much. All of the songs on it are just so epic sounding. Um, I'm anxious to get into the Sabaton history for this. I didn't touch too much on the actual fighting that Serbia does, um, other than just kind of generally how well they held up against the Austro-Hungarians when they were supposed to just get smashed immediately, right? Um, but it's because I want to get into it on the Sabaton history, so I kind of wanted to talk about some of that other ancillary stuff that Serbia obviously had going on during the war. But great song, I absolutely loved it. The album is just so good. I think their newest album is my favorite one, but this is my second favorite. But as always, like, comment, subscribe. Help me keep building the channel over here. I'll put the Discord link in the description box down below, and I'll see you all next time.